Welcome back to Metroid Prime. On a new capture card where everything should be pretty much seamless. Well, after I tampered with some of the very bizarre default settings that my computer reacted to. But things should be pretty seamless. I was just able to convert all the audio settings from the previous capture card onto this one, so everything should be the same volume as it was before, and things of that nature. The one big difference is that this new model, which by the way was $100 cheaper than the one I was using before, almost perfect latency. There will never again be any issues with me having to delay my audio and my face cam to what you see on screen. It should all be one-to-one. If it's not, then there's just something wrong with the connection or internet, or it's just a buggy recording. Alright, as we left off, we have just killed Thardus and obtained the Spider Ball. I would like to play the rest of the game, but I can't guarantee that. Wow. Dead serious. I could probably... I wouldn't be able to do it in this game because, there's motion sensing with the, with the Wiimote and the sensor bar. But, like, in a traditional game with just a regular controller, I could probably just be looking straight at OBS the whole time, and I'd probably still do a really good job. The latency is that good. I mean, anything besides, like a hardcore Kaizo level in Super Mario Maker. Or anything Celeste has to offer. A game that I really need to go back to. You guys not going to give me anything? What the heck? At least the boxes are nice to me. Alright, next on tap for us is the Ice Beam. There's a number of ways to get around in this game. I'm probably not picking the most efficient one. It's an adult Sheegoth. I want to see how quickly we can beat an adult Sheegoth just with bombs. That is amazing. That big, scary guy can be just taken out with just a few bombs. The region's apex predator. Just a few regular bombs. Ow. One really nice thing about the Metroid Prime games is if you ever forget what the next item is that you need to get, it will tell you after a certain amount of time. If you do know what you're doing, it won't annoy you. But if you don't, it's there to help. and it's framed in such a way that it's not that it doesn't feel like, hey, you idiot, here's where to go next. It always just feels like a like Samus herself is using all of her gadgets at her disposal to help herself along the way. I've discovered also that, you know, I've been doing, like, just this to do Spring Ball, but it turns out the motion sensing in this game is a lot better than I gave it credit for. It detects upward thrusts very accurately. It can actually tell what type of motion it is. So, as long as you remember that and give it the respect due to it, your Spring Balls will not be a crapshoot. Whatever. Whatever. I don't mind losing a couple of HP to lava. Oh look, another startlingly accurate Magmor. Oh yeah, I gotta remember that this data file doesn't have the 10 count missile scanned yet. Pretty rare drop. Probably the rarest of all the drop options. I do need to get used to the new arrangement of the wires around here. I did get that one right. Okay, good. First and foremost, this run is not a speed run. I'm going my own pace here. Alright, and we head back to Chozo Ruins. Ow. Not my brightest moment. Ah. There we go. 5 more missiles. This also is not a 100% run. It's just a whatever percent I feel like actually getting. Which does not roll off the tongue very much. I acknowledge that. Always stop the swarm before it starts. Woohoo! Here's another missile I'm suddenly capable of grabbing. Hooray for Spider Ball! Oh, that reminds me, that's scannable now, too. There we go. Recording to logbook. Oh! Alright, so good to know. It won't be it won't be anything I can use a super missile on. Or even a power bomb. A lot of people say they don't like all the backtracking in a Metroid game. It never really feels like backtracking to me though, because you have abilities that you didn't have the first time you were there. And it feels really satisfying to be able to traverse through it in much more efficient means. Whee! I scanned that, right? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be very annoying with the scanning visor in Metroid Prime 4. I can already feel it. Everyone watching me is going to be wondering, like, when the heck are you going to actually play the game? You don't understand. That's part of the game. It's part of the fun of it. Okay. Wait, does one of these things have a message? Oh. They both do, and I've already scanned them. Ow. That's a 5 count, not a 10 count. I honestly do not know if there are certain enemies who are barred from... enemies or conditions that are barred from giving you 10 counts. Because that's extremely generous. What I just got from all those guys. I really don't need those. I think I've already scanned this stone toad, but we'll just be sure. Yes. Oh, it preys on creatures smaller than itself? You mean like every animal that's ever existed? Whoop. Just making sure. They do a really good job of hinting you where to go. Oh. Eh. Oh man, I'm just floored by how good the latency is on this thing. It is practically non-existent. I can't believe it. I can't believe that it only costs $40 plus tax and, you know, shipping. Ice beam door. I don't have ice beam. Oh no. Recording to logbook. These are plated parasites, I believe. Too bad we don't have any of those. Oh wait, we do. Ah, yeah. I know about that for my hydrogeology classes. Alright, Chozolor. Time to narrate. What is this otherworldly pestilence that infests the land, seeking out life in its blind need for corruption? And where did the meteor that brought it originate? Was it crafted by alien hands, or is it a roving chunk of a planet that suffered a violent end? Our minds quail in horror at the thought that long ago, in some corner of the universe as yet unseen by our eyes, an entire planet was perhaps once coated with this great poison. Whatever cataclysm may have ruptured that doomed place must have been mighty indeed, and if other meteors from it spread through space, bearing this evil to the far corners of the universe, we hold fast to the hope that this is not so, that the only surviving remnants of this evil are here, on Talon 4. Then, at least, there is hope for its eradication. Oh, there's hope for its eradication, but you're gonna have to wait 2 more games. Okay, I think you guys get it by now. Wave Beam does not work on Ice Beam doors. What a shock. Lord! To the Entrusted One. If you read these words, then our hope has not been in vain. Your path is fraught with danger. Monstrosities beyond description lurk in the shadows, starving, hunting for prey, searching for ways to quench the poisonous urges that bloom in their brains. Some of these are shrewd, but they are blinded by their evil designs. Believing in the black promise of the great poison, they seek to harness it for their own ends. It is these last that are the greatest danger. When you rid the universe of these creatures, you will be the true Entrusted One. Referring, of course, to the space pirates, and yep, we're gonna get rid of them at some point. Not in this game, not in the next game, and not even in the next game. I believe Super Metroid was their end. Well, except for the survivors that were in Fusion. Anyway. None know if our temple, the Cradle, will prove powerful enough to contain this evil forever. For now, it wraps around that abomination, cutting it off from the world above. However, we believe the power of the cipher, which has been produced by linking the 12 artifacts, should be strong enough. The fate of this world is now left to the One who will collect all the artifacts in the future. The time when the Entrusted One knows is approaching. And now it's here. Many Chozo are gifted with the distant sight, and even more begin to learn it as our harmonization with the universe becomes more and more complete. We peer forward, seeing prophecy in the ripples of the water, hearing rumors of coming days on the breath of the wind. Though we celebrate the distant sight, many of these visions are dark. The worst of these prophecies, and the most common, tells of the coming of the worm. Born from parasites, nurtured in a poisoned womb, the worm grows, devouring from within until the world begins to rot. Not all prophecies come to pass, of course, but we cannot help but fear this dark portent. We'll deal with that later. Only the holder of 12 shall face the worm. Not entirely sure that prophecy did come to pass, because the holder of 12 will face a big bad creature, but it's not a worm. The great poison corrupts all, even the Chozo. Oh, is that what happened to the Mawkin tribe? Oh, I didn't need this, I just wanted to scan it. I'm pretty sure I had full missiles already. There is a pretty ridiculous location for one of those later on in the game. If you remember your Zero mission, this song should be familiar to you. This actually came first. Zero mission was made a year or so later. Sure enough, Hall of the Elders. Oh no. Oh no. An offering of orb, perhaps? Oh wow, they are quite accurate to the design of Quiet Robe and Ravenbeak. Yeah, there's only 2 weapons that actually hurt this thing. Your regular power beam and a super missile. Regular missiles, no. I've got the wrong weapon equipped. When your crosshair is red, you know that you're in the right spot. So even though you can't track those guys without the X-ray scope, you still kind of can. As Maury Calliope would say, get rotated, idiot. I love VTubers. I saw more lore back there. Things bound to earthly shapes are temporal and frail. Existing in a single dimension, they are fragile, vulnerable, and ultimately mortal. However, not all things obey this law. Shapeless, they wait beyond the realm of perception, emerging only when one arrives who can feel their presence. Such is the will of the Chozo. Our will to defeat the evil seeping into this planet remains. We desire only to see the darkness meet its end. The will of the Chozo has no mind or reasoning of its own, though. This will be the Entrusted One's trial. Is that all the Chozo lore? Hang on. No, not quite. Oh, that's right. Like, right at the end of the game, there's some more. I say end of the game, but it's right by the landing site also. It's just that if you know what you're doing, there's no point going there until the end. Whoa, It is I, your entrusted one. But the Chozo ghosts don't seem to know that. Simply called the reflecting pool. I missed. I hit. Don't worry, the Chozos won't mind. That room is a save point, among other things. And this room right here is what we're here for. There's that hint I was talking about right as I got into the room with the item. I can't really do that quite as well when I'm sitting down in a chair like this. Yo, I could stand up. I really could be standing up. I don't know why I'm not. Probably just because I'm in a more enclosed space than I used to be back in the living room in San Diego. But I'll gladly take this in terms of, you know, like the privacy to make sure that it's just me and you in the game here. Oh, I should say there's a slight chance I might have to cut the stream early. because Beba is getting one of our cars looked at, and if it turns out that she's going to be there for a long time, she doesn't expect it. But if there's more to it than we want, then I'll have to come get her. If that's the case, I can just pause the recording, but I'll have to stop the stream itself. There is a reason why I gotta do that. Alright, there's one. I highly encourage just using super missiles. Otherwise, these guys are extremely annoying to take down. Ow! See what I mean? Heck! That's right, charge your weapon. See what good it does you. Whoop! And yes, we're gonna come back to this room for that plasma beam. Door, or pathway. Because it is needed. This one, on the other hand. E. I think I prefer this. I'm sure this is fine. No, I prefer the other one. I'm not fighting these guys. E. Come on! Hey, camera, please. I'm not fighting them again until I've got the X-ray scope. Wait, is that a 10 count? It is not. Can I have it, though? Thank you. Ice Beam in this game is very strong, but has a very low fire rate. Would you go through the door? Oh my god. Oh, interesting. They don't spawn if you come from that door. Probably smart. Thank goodness Retro Studios didn't decide to bar the doors when Chozo ghosts appear, because my goodness would they ever be a handful. Alright, now what? Oh yeah, Fendrana. That was ugly. I'm gonna go this way. This is our quickest way to Magmore, which in turn is our quickest way to Fendrana. Oh wait, hold on. Come on. Just flew right into my bomb, you fool. Anyone else want to fly right into my bombs? Apparently, the answer is yes. We. I assume it means star in the literal sense, not, you know, a pop star. Because that would be a little unbecoming of the Chozo. They would not be building a statue of Hoshimachi Suisei. Traces, but we've taken care of that problem. And here we are. It's always more convenient to go down here than it is to go up, because I can just fall right down, there's no fall damage. It's only natural to at least want to go fast in some way, shape, or form when you play a Metroid game. Bounty Hunter, go fast. It's one of the great tenets of all of video games. I don't think so. Naturally, Ice Beam is extremely effective here in Magmore Caverns. Oh wait, I forgot to do this, didn't I? Yeah, we need these. That's what the holder of 12 refers to. We need 11 more to be able to face the worm. Which, again, isn't actually a worm. Ow. Nice. It's pretty hard to hit these guys with your first shot if you've got Ice Beam on. Okay, maybe it isn't. Maybe you just gotta wait for the secret missile attack, and you're good. That's what I was referring to. Alright, fine, I'll hit you with a super missile instead. Oh, did I get them both? Nice. Oh, what is this? There's a third one. Can't destroy Bendezium yet. Ooh. And here's where having Spider Ball is real convenient. Really? Yeah, unfortunately, I won't be able to very conveniently abuse the advantages of the Ice Beam because the doors are about to turn all Wave Beam. You're not going to enjoy this. But you probably didn't feel that either, so it all evens out. Puddle Spore. Yes, it attempts to intimidate by size. You know who else attempts to intimidate? Mini Sparky. Of course, the original Sparky was actually a very big cat. And he was intimidating for a lot of reasons. But he was also very lovable. I wouldn't be keeping his memory alive if he weren't. Ow, ow, ow. These guys are everywhere in this game. They're not so everywhere in Prime 2. Or 3. That's just another save point. From here on in, most of the missile doors are save points. That right there is your wake-up call that you need a new beam. Aha. Unusual gravity patterns. Gravity pulses? Gee, I wonder what item it could be. Ow! Yeah. This is where you really learn that flicker bats are jerks. I used to get turned around here a lot, so I've managed to memorize what to do here. This is the one part of Prime 1 that I did get turned around in quite a lot. And as powerful as Ice Beam was in Magmoor Caverns, you're probably betting that Plasma Beam's extremely powerful and useful here in Phendrana Drifts. And yes, it is. Now meet a Metroid class you won't see anywhere else in the entire franchise. The Hunter Metroid. Which can attack from a distance. Oh yeah, that also requires a scan. So bull riding, in other words. I never like coming back here because these stalactites are quite jank. You can actually freeze a glider, by the way, if you're so inclined. They are really jank. Is that a 10 count? It is! And I've already scanned it somehow. When did I scan it? Oh yeah, probably I gotta scan these guys too. The gel zaps. They're an interesting one. There are actually animals on Earth, particularly aquatic animals, that function almost like that. I can't name many examples off the top of my head. I'm not a biologist, but I definitely remember learning about some very bizarre anatomies in sea-based creatures. Wait, what the heck? Where's the door? There is a door under here. I know that for a fact. Yeah, your vision is in. Oh, it's right behind the other gel's at, isn't it? There we go. I suppose that that kind of has to count. If I'm asking where the door is, I have no choice. I didn't think I'd be adding to this. But there you go. 3 forgetting where things are for Metroid Prime 1. Oh no. That count's going to be huge for Prime 2 and 3. Especially 3. 3 is the one that I didn't have time to play during my last Metroid Marathon, where I was gearing up for the launch of Metroid Dread. I had time to play everything else, but not Prime 3. The reason why I'm starting so early with this is because I want to play Prime 3 again. Oh, what a shot. What a shot. Oh, jeez. And then I completely hecked that up. The reason I really wanted to go for that super tight shot is these stupid flicker bats are so annoying when you're on these other platforms. We don't have X-ray scopes, so we can't track them and knock them out. Animals! Just part of a submerged organism? I guess it's a good thing we never find out what that is. But apparently it lives in symbiosis with the gel zaps. Which is probably smart, if they're such a predator as this game claims. Oh, whatever. Gravity suit's right there. Go. Alright. I'm gonna take a stretch break as soon as this little cutscene is over. Enjoy her being orange. Or should I say, I hope you enjoyed her being orange. Now she's magenta. Alright, Twitch, I'll be back in a minute or so. YouTube, I'll be back in, like, 2 seconds for you. Yeah, movement... Oh. Movement and vision is no longer hindered. I do have to say, it's kind of cool that this game... that by virtue of it being first person, it limits your vision when you don't have the gravity suit either. Oh, this one. I know what I'm doing. Another thing up there to scan. Here we go. Yeah, if only the space jump was actually space jump in this game. Dead. That animation was all kinds of natural. I mean, hey, it's a very old game. This game's old enough to drink. In the US. I also like that anytime you're hit with an electric attack, you know, stuff happens to your visor. Never saw that coming. Oh. Okay, that sucked. Oh, only now are you angry at me? Probably should have been tipped off by, you know, your friend there being immediately killed. Ah, yes, this room is important for other reasons that we aren't going to get into yet. But we will come back. I believe that's the frozen pike? No, Pindrama's edge. That's the frozen pike. Ow! That was a nice suicide strike. We'll give you credit for that. Whee! That was nice and efficient. Too bad bombs can't open wave doors. Oh, no, we don't want that yet. That would be the slow way out of here. I don't think we want that either. Go and head back to Thardus. Well, we don't need Thardus for anything. But we want to head back to Magamore the other way. Oh, hey. Look who it is. It's an adult Sheegoth. I'm going to bomb you to oblivion. Not without taking a little bit of punishment myself, of course. Wait, what the... Wait, why is this one taking so many more bombs than the last one did? There we go. What did I do so well with that one before? Whee! Oh no. I don't think I'm going to be able to collect that 100 points of energy. There we go. That's okay. I'll get my missiles back elsewhere. In fact, why don't I use super missiles on the adult Sheegoth this time? Two. That's it. Ice Beam can't possibly be effective against them, can it? Especially with its low fire rate. Oh, wow. No, it still works pretty well. But certainly not the weapon of choice. Really? Welcome. Okay, so she didn't need me. Excellent. Yes, the goal is to go back to Talon Overworld. That's exactly what we're on our way to do. Convenience is worth getting burned a little bit. It's really not going to hurt me to be a little reckless there. Oh, I actually hit it. Wow! I didn't even think that was a thing. But if you're accurate enough, you can stop that before it even starts. Talon Overworld Weast. Get out. Okay, I'm losing connection between the Wiimote and the sensor bar. You know, if I stood up, that might actually be better. Ah. Missiles! I wonder if that's why Samus chose this landing spot. I just forgot that she didn't have Morphing Ball anymore upon landing. Talon Overworld's quite the looker when it comes to alien video game locations. Here's a sight we're all gonna have to get used to. Well, besides the flying pirates, which we're already very used to. this. Ah, welcome. You're coming at a good time. You actually haven't missed any bosses unless you count the Chozo ghosts. And there's more where that came from. I have Gravity Suit now. That's the big development. This is Phazon. Don't touch it. Ignore how pretty it is. Don't touch it. Oh, no matches, huh? More terribly injured space pirates. Let's just let them live. Yeah, except that guy, I guess. That's right, we're going right back to where we started the game. Frigate Orpheon. Or whatever's left of it. Retro Studios really, really know how to spin a yarn and how to create atmosphere in a game. What is flowing through this door other than just raw electricity? Uh-oh. Really? Crabs. And nobody wants to eat crabs with Phazon in them. Oh, thank you for that update. Prepare for extremely relaxing music. Figured out my gravity suit. Whoa, reflection. point it down anymore. I mean it when I say that maybe not in this case, because this game, you know, involves pointing a Wiimote at the sensor bar, but in a regular game with a regular controller, I could probably play really well just looking at OBS. The latency is that good. E. Ow. Normally you would want to have your infrared visor on for this, but I've played this game so many times, I shouldn't really need it that much from here on in. Dead pirate. There are visual cues for them. Look at all that lichen. One of these lockers has something good for me. Okay, got that one already. Ah, right there. Drones. How about the ice beam? Ice beam deals more damage. It keeps their faculties intact, but ice beam deals a lot of damage. Missiles. Spend missiles, get missiles. Alright, I need a little help here. Oh, it's inside this door. Or locker, or whatever you want to call it. Cell. Go. By now, the space pirates have firmly established themselves as the main antagonist of the game. Oh, there's a door we can't go into anymore. I genuinely had not noticed that until just now, from however many playthroughs I've had of this game. I need help here too. I don't like how they delete me from the cutscenes. I'll just boost ball my way through. Maybe I won't. Bye. Bye, space pirate. Ah, I knew that was early. E. Oh, suddenly we're in a much more natural looking environment. Joseph. Because we're out of friggin' Orpheon. We're back onto the natural turf of Talon 4. But the music is still going until now. I love this game. I love this game. And yes, I was trying to be quiet during that whole segment just because I really wanted to get you to listen to that beautiful song. Everything I do in this game comes from a place of love. Okay. You're managing an awful lot of leagues. Anyway. That enough mood whiplash for you? From that super peaceful music onto this? That is the game telling you in no uncertain terms, this is where things get serious. I suppose that is less than convenient for you. Now that you're carrying my fan base's tradition of never being awake or asleep when you're supposed to. They say chat reflects streamer, but that's really not the case. My bedtime hours are usually pretty consistent. Phase on. You like those turrets? Because they're mega turrets. How did I not get hit by those? Creatures? It's not a creature. These take 3 missiles. Or, if you're like me, just save a little bit of time by using super missiles. There's not a single blue door in all of Phazon Mines. They're all either purple, white, or red. You did miss a decent amount of content, but you definitely did not miss the most exciting part of the game. Super missiles are especially nice when those turrets are super close. Boom! 2 for 1. I don't know why the space pirates thought that was a good idea. Heck me. Wait, I can't even scan Shadow Pirates? I'm sure I've already done them. But, you know, I just want to make absolutely sure. Speaking of red doors. Red door. There's your tell that you're going to need the plasma beam sooner rather than later. Now meet a new threat. Wave Troopers. I'm only going to read this once because there's 4 different types of these guys, corresponding obviously to Samus's beam types, and they all say the same thing. I was under absolutely no impression that Xavier Worthy was playing this week. Huh? I assume made by the same studio that made the first Super Mario movie. Well, when I say first, I mean, you know, the one from a couple of years ago. Not the fever dream that was their early 90s movie. Or was that mid-90s? Well, in any case. The new studio? You mean the same studio? now I got a whole lot of pirate lore to scan. Initial Project Helix experiments with space pirate embryos were disastrous. The phase-on infusion process that generated brain tissue even as it augmented muscle mass. None of what we termed elite pirates lived to maturity. The few that survived their infanthood suffered severe psychotic breakdowns as juveniles, killing anything within their zone of perception. Research team Sierra made a recent breakthrough, in which parasite studies with a phase-on strain codenamed Vertigo were highly successful. Since then, we have successfully infused Vertigo phase-on with space pirate DNA with great success. The latest batch of elite pirates have reached maturity successfully and are ready for field testing and training. Recommended battle systems for elite pirates are as follows: shoulder-mounted plasma artillery cannon, repulsion shield, wavequake projector, energy siphon system, and retractable wrist bayonets. Every one of these little computer systems is written by space pirates. So we're doing a lot of narration here. Be excited, or not. Up to you. Hi. Security alert, all stations. Bioform Samus Aran has made planetfall on Talon 4. The Hunter is among us. All units are hereby ordered to attack Aran on site. Terminal force is authorized. Report all sightings of Aran to Security Command at once. Power Beam Trooper. Dead. Wait, I forget. Is this a scan that we need, or it's not? Attention all units. Report to your battle stations. Failure to comply with this order is an act of treason. Treason is punishable by termination, as it is in most countries on our planet. Oh boy, I gotta turn this thing all the way back around. Oh. I somehow got them both. I couldn't do that again if I tried. I was expecting to just overcompensate like I usually do in this and hit the wrong wall again. This one, at least, we know exactly where it's pointing. These things will hurt you a lot if... Okay, that was BS. Oh no, we got the power beam. Troopers. You can probably hear for yourself how many times these guys are hitting me because the Wiimote keeps vibrating. These guys are annoying because like there's no easy way to just stun lock them. Phase on. Again, don't touch. I can't even say anything to you because I have a ridiculously unhealthy amount of tabs open at any given moment. And yet this computer still somehow holds a straight face. It's a strong machine. Although I really shouldn't push it any more than I am. Oh. Then what do you have? A problem? Whoa, I actually hit that. I can't believe it. Recognize this? Actually, no, you don't. I never actually showed you that. But that is the impact crater where the Leviathan actually hit Talon 4 and started the spread of Phazon in the first place. Interesting room we've got here, huh? What do we have here? What do we have here? Could it be a boss battle? You finally get to see what an elite pirate looks like. Yay! Phazon Enhanced Space Pirate. Incredibly strong, armored, and well-armed. Elite pirates are potent foes. Their energy siphon system absorbs beam weapon shots. The nature of this system makes them vulnerable to concussion-based weapons. Well-armed, the elite pirate is effective in close combat and at a distance. Their massive size can be a weakness, and their sluggish speed allows for evasion and quick attacks. And that's a plasma artillery cannon. Now, you don't actually have to take this thing out in order to defeat an elite pirate, but just for the heck of it, I'll demonstrate that if you turn on infrared mode, ow, you can target it. Are you gonna do anything, Mr. Elite Pirate? There we go. Alright, and we'll use Ice Beam to go the rest of the way. Destroying the plasma artillery cannon really doesn't do that much for you. It's still pretty much the same fight. It's just that he can no longer shoot you from a distance. But those attacks are pretty easy to dodge anyway, so there's really no point to do that. And that seems like a good spot to take my second stretch break, because my butt's already killing me again. Clearly, you can tell from the music that we're not done fighting people in this room. However, we've also got computers to scan. A shipment of military-grade plasma artillery cannons is en route to Talon 4. The Egenoid Star Marines, where we acquired them from, were letting them sit out in a warehouse. Our elite pirates, on the other hand, will put them to good use very soon. They don't call them space pirates for nothing, folks. Investigations into a possible ingress point for the impact crater continues to meet with failure. The shield of strange energy that protects it is impermeable, and all attempts to tunnel past it have proven fruitless. Our continued futility in this matter is made all the more significant in light of the recent lifeform readings we've discovered emanating from deep within the crater. Analysis of the readings indicates that a massive creature is gestating there, absorbing enormous amounts of phazon from the phazon core at the heart of the impact crater. This discovery makes accessing the crater doubly important. Not only will it open the door to vast amounts of phazon within, but it will also lead us to this creature, whatever it may be. It is the worm that the holder of 12 may face, and no one else. Except it's not a worm. Moving on. Security Command issued an all-points alert after the fall of Zebes. The alert concerns bioform Samus Aran, also known as the Hunter. Subject is a female hominid and is heavily armed and extremely dangerous. Subject uses a powered armor suit of unknown design in battle, along with a number of potent beam and concussive weapons. All combat units are instructed to terminate Aran on sight, preferably in a fashion that will allow salvage of her powered armor suit and weapons. A considerable bounty will go to the unit who delivers Aran to command. Dead or alive, it matters not. The fall of Zebes refers to the first Metroid game, aka Zero Mission. Consumption of elite nutrient mix by non-elite units is strictly prohibited. Failure to comply will result in a 50% ration deduction for a decacycle. Security level Tau will be in effect until further notice. All leaves cancelled pending downgrade of alert status. Bioform Samus Aran continues to assault our holdings on Talon 4. Security has been compromised in multiple areas. Casualty rates are rising. Command has authorized a sizable bounty for the capture or termination of Aran. Report your field officers for details. Science team is attempting to reverse engineer Samus Aran's arsenal, based off of data acquired from her assaults on our forces. Progress is slow, but steady. Command would dearly enjoy turning Aran's weapons against her. We believe we can implement beam weapon prototypes in 3 cycles. Aran's power suit technology remains a mystery, especially the curious morph ball function. All attempts at duplicating it have ended in disaster. 4 test subjects were horribly broken and twisted when they engaged our morph ball prototypes. Science team wisely decided to move on afterward. Anyway, one more thing to scan. New enemy! But it's just the same thing, but with Ice Beam, so we don't need to read the description. This does not take a genius. Just keep attacking them both. Big hole in my energy. Eh. Now we're safe. Evaluation of plasma artillery cannons is complete. The weapons are fully functional, but a flaw has been discovered. Subpar thermal shielding gives them a high heat signature. This could make them easier to target for enemies with enhanced vision capabilities. Multiple enemies, not just the hunter. Security alert. Computer systems compromised. Bioform Samus Aran has cracked our systems. The hunter can access our system at will and is able to bypass most of our security programs. Use manual locking systems when possible. Thankfully, that memo got through a little late. I'm already here. Facility Command's request for elite pirate transfer to security forces granted. Prepare units EPG-8644 and EPG-8656 for field duty at once. Metroid aggression levels are rising. Be alert for any attempts by Metroids to escape from quarantine areas. Their energy absorption ability is not able to disrupt our force fields, but continued exposure to Phazon may change things for the worse. Spoilers, yes they will. Reports on Hunter activity are in. Analysis indicated that the Hunter is using Morph Ball technology to infiltrate our facilities. Recalibrate sensors to search for Morph Ball energy signatures. Whatever those might be. Planetary Stealth technology is back online. We have evaded detection by the battlecruiser Emmons. The brief lapse in planetary security caused by the crash of our frigate is over. Now we can concentrate our efforts on the Hunter. Replacement of standard hatch covers continues. Steel covers will be replaced with cordite and bendesium covers in 2 decacycles. Analysis continues on these cursed ruins and the Chozo temple that hovers near them. We are now completely certain that the containment field denying us access to the impact crater is linked to strange artifacts that belong in the temple, but we are no closer to finding them or deciphering the riddles that seem to cover every wall of this ruined place. Command grows increasingly anxious for a resolution to this matter, so we must redouble our efforts. X-ray squadrons will begin terrain sweeps within days. Until they begin, patrols are instructed to report any and all architectural anomalies to their commanders. Increase phase-on portion of elite pirate ration by 18%. Report any size of ration rejection by elites at once. That's how you get to know that the space pirates are not the most reasonable people in the universe. Like, you are going to be an elite fighter, and you are going to inhale this extremely dangerous chemical, or else. There have been numerous incidents involving spectral entities at Chozo ruin sites. Several personnel have been assaulted by these Chozo ghosts. Few have survived. Survivors speak of swift attacks from nowhere, brief sightings of the enemy, and then nothing, only to be followed by another attack. Science team believes that these attacks are in response to our efforts to recover Chozo relics and artifacts. Somehow these entities are able to interact with the physical world, and it appears they wish to keep their artifacts to themselves. We will make them pay for such arrogance, for even ghosts can be destroyed. And you've already seen proof of that with Super Metroid. Results are in from field studies on the bioform group Chozo, who we believe are extinct. We now know that is wrong. We believe that Talon 4 was once a stronghold in a great Chozo empire, brought low by the meteor strike. Planetary devastation brought an end to the Chozo, yet remnants of their society remain. We are studying these relics in an attempt to harness their power. What is of no use to us, we simply destroy. In time, we shall have all we need from this dead race, and shall wipe this planet clean of their ugly ruins. The dead should serve the living, not hinder them. Although we are still no closer to finding the artifacts of the Chozo, we have at least produced a viable hypothesis for their function. It appears that each of the artifacts corresponds to one of the statues on the temple platform, and that each one acts as a small key to a huge lock. Judging by the number of statues, we assume there must be 12 artifacts. Once we find the resting spots of all 12, we can bring them here, unite them with their statues, and open the gate system at long last. Once we do, the impact crater, and whatever creature it shelters, will be ours for the taking. Phazon-infused fungal harvesting continues. Replacement of Decatriticale with Phazon-infused fungal matter in elite ration mix has been authorized. That's right, you're eating Phazon-enhanced mushrooms too. Or else! I don't want to be a space pirate. Security requests deployment of elite pirates in Metroid quarantine areas. The high casualties suffered by standard pirate units deployed in Metroid areas is not acceptable. Reconfiguration of security drones authorized. Deploy new drones to mission-critical areas immediately. Oh, progress. And more lore. We have come to another dead end. It is clear now that we will never discover the location of the Chozo's artifacts until we can decipher the messages carved into the statues in this abominable temple. Our language databases are woefully inadequate, and our linguistic analysts can come up with little more than vague theories. The best hypothesis that we can offer is that finding artifacts will require items spiritually linked to the Chozo civilization. However, without these items, we are lost, and Command grows more impatient by the day. Results must be produced soon. If you're wondering whether we ever meet Space Pirate Command, the answer is yes, but not in this game. What made you want to trade away Daniel Jones in favor of Trevor Lawrence? Metroids from the initial batch have matured to Hunter phase. Be advised that the Hunter Metroid has a siphon tentacle. It can attack with it from a distance, as opposed to the close combat tactic used by younger Metroids. Yes, we know. Of course, everything's just a gut feeling with you, and it's usually right, to be fair. Increased aggression levels observed in latest Elite Pirate units. Increasing Phazon feed by 0.07% per science team mandate. Yes, they're getting more aggressive. Feed them more Phazon, or else! Metroid activity is accelerating in non-frigid areas. Which is dangerous because Metroids fear the cold. If they're in non-frigid areas, they become a real issue. Science team is accepting volunteers for advanced weapon training. Hi. You're dead now. Oh, EPG 8702. Scramble all aerial units immediately. Flight pattern Sigma 4 is in effect. Increased Bumbu patrols in authorized areas. Oh, so they were created by the space pirates, huh? Test results from battle simulation Samus Aran are promising. Elite units report a 74% success ratio against Aran in testing. High Command is pleased, but expects a higher ratio by project's end. Elite Pirate Upsilon's propensity for Phazon has enabled our research team to infuse it far beyond our safety restrictions, and the results have been extremely encouraging. Its constant Phazon diet has increased its mass exponentially, but it has retained all mental faculties and shows dexterity with all elite weaponry, including plasma incendiary launchers and the chameleon manta issued for cloaking purposes. Elite Pirate Upsilon exhibits miraculous healing abilities. When injured, it seeks out Phazon deposits and coats itself in the substance, which instantly mends the creature's wounds. The subject, which we are codenaming Omega Pirate based on these developments, shows potential to be a new standard for our armies. Our only concern at this point is its potential over-dependence on Phazon. So they do actually have at least some level of concern for their elite troops. But they also refer to it as an it. So, death to the hunter. Death to all who oppose us. Unauthorized Metroid feeding is strictly prohibited. Our enemies will tremble before the might of our elite forces. That's just another, code name for an elite pirate. We don't need to see that one. Oh, look, another elite pirate. That might be a crack in the glass. It might just be a bunch of stray Phazon. I think it's a stray Phazon. Phazon processing and security systems are taxing the dynamo beyond safety tolerances. Though the conversion to geothermal power is easing the drain on our systems, it is not enough. Further power use at current levels could lead to system failure. Dynamo maintenance team is not responding to service call. Rerouting quest to Central Command. Oh? Oh, I can take that offline for you. But first, this guy. We can't scan it. We can't see it in infrared. It's probably visible in X-ray scope, but as a cruel joke, we don't have X-ray scope yet, and in fact, there's no way to collect X-ray scope because we need power bombs to get the X-ray scope, which is right here. I didn't think I'd actually destroy that thing before my monologue was done. But there's my experience for you. Boop. Ow. That's a dead end. This is going terribly. Oh. I think to an extent it is random which pathway you get. Based on where that invisible robot is when you defeat it. Like which hole it opens up for you. Whoop! Power bomb! And that's what powerbomb ammo looks like. Alright, I'm actually quite low on health. I'm going to go ahead and rectify that. The keeping of pets has been suspended until further notice. Domestic beasts have been deemed highly susceptible to phase-on madness, and are thereby a hazard to personnel. All grong cats and olbaps must be disposed of immediately. Failure to comply will result in the loss of pay for a cycle and reduced rations. An entire shift of dynamo workers have been transferred following bouts of phase-on madness. Units have reported to Science Team for use in laboratory studies and the new Elite Pirate program. Their dementia will make them adequate for training adversaries for the Elite Team. Yeah, that's how the space pirates deal with mental health problems. Lovely, I know. It's almost like they're evil and we need to stop them or something. What I really like about the writing behind this is that they don't they don't come off as like an extremely arrogant species who's just evil for the sake of being evil. They sound really self-assured about everything that they are planning on doing. Clearly they are morally wrong, but the fact that they sound self-assured kind of gives them an air of, I don't want to say dignity, but like they're a very credible and intelligent threat. Uh-oh. Speaking of threats. Alright, Ice Beam. Prove your worthiness. Wait, what did I just destroy? I don't think regular bombs do much against this guy. It's not like an adult Sheegoth. But he's also not hard. All available troopers report to Mine Security Command. Chozo Ruins areas are off limits until further notice. Probably too many ghost attacks. Security breaches in multiple areas. Unauthorized usage of resources continues. Patterns suggest these resources are being stolen by the Hunter. Increased monitoring of all resource facilities immediately. Recon teams are searching for the Hunter's gunship. Science team believes it employs a sophisticated cloaking device beyond our capabilities. Aside from dumb luck, we may never discover its location. We must contain or eliminate Aaron. Failure to comply with command decree is not an option. That's not what I meant to do. Scan the Bendesium. So that we can boil it to oblivion. Map. I don't think I actually need this, but... It's nice to hear that jingle. I think every room you've been to has a name. Every room you haven't been to does not. Yeah. Even all the really important looking ones. That might look a little overwhelming, but trust me, it's not that bad once you get used to it. Metroid quarantine in effect. No unauthorized personnel in holding areas. Unauthorized use to Phazon is strictly prohibited. Violation of this order will result in assignment to Metroid holding area duty for 90 cycles. No exceptions. So apparently babysitting Metroids is considered menial labor. I tried to pause it, but the fact that that I dropped the Wiimote onto my bed from like a couple centimeters up means that the B button got triggered. Alright, that should be the last of me reading computer terminals for a little while. There should be a burst of progress momentarily. Here's an item you almost can't miss. Because you gotta get rid of all that stuff clogging the room. E. Pill. There's no E on it, and it's just a pill, but... Pill is not really a satisfying thing to say, is it? Whee! I love that knockback. No, we're not going in that room. For some reason, this toxicity does not hurt us. Here's that super important crater we were all talking about. So we can't get into the crater, but we can drill really, really close to it. I'm not even really going out of my way to collect most of these energy tanks. They're just in really convenient spots. And if you're wondering if power bombs are really useful in combat in this game, yes! I just haven't done it yet. Sulfredo jogging. At least this part. It's really nice to know how the puzzle works. Important item. Now this is probably the most bizarre little mini cutscene in the whole game here. That is not how the grapple beam works. And the thing is, that's not even how the original game was animated. That's one of the few differences in the trilogy version compared with the original one on GameCube, besides the mechanics. Okay, Vegetabot, we understand that you're sentient, but can you make it a little less obvious? Of course it's the Elite Pirate that we just beat. Because we just beat an Elite Pirate. Heck. You missed. Oh. Oh, but you got more friends than I thought. You know what, whatever, let's just get out of here. There's a missile to be grabbed over there, but it's not that big a deal. Let's just get out of here. We're not welcome. And more importantly, there's another special item that's right in front of us. Yeah, we know there's intense radiation. We understand that part now. Wait, I didn't scan those guys, did I? Silly me. I believe these are called seedlings. And that's apparently all we need to know about them. I scanned blood flowers, right? Yeah. Dead. Dead. spiral spider ball structure here. A little odd, but also kind of cool. Especially in a forest setting. But hey, there were Chozos here. Wait, why am I talking in the past tense? Yeah, there's Chozo activity here, alright. Heck. This half-pipe is really annoying. You'd think a 2D half-pipe would be really easy to navigate, but it's not. There we go. For some reason, that's the only jank one in the game, pretty much. I think there's a 2D half-pipe in Prime 2 that's not that jank. Anyway, look, X-ray scope! That enemy gave us a power bomb. I wonder why. Do we need them? According to the infrared visor, nothing is interesting here. How about the one we just got? Oh! Oh, there's stuff beyond here. Let's use a power bomb. This game is so good at communicating things without directly communicating them sometimes. Whee! There we go. I love this game. The only things that annoy me are Chozo ghosts and the carpal tunnel boss at the beginning. Kind of cheese this if you... You gotta get it exactly right, though. The intended way is up here. Well, well, well. This is why we need the X-ray scope, guys. Because we can actually track them. I missed anyway. And I fell. Wonderful. Can't remember the last time I fell here. This is now much easier with the X-ray scope. What is my problem all of a sudden? Beak. Why are there little stopgaps in those morphing ball tunnels? I'm guessing those are mini loading screens. Ow. Oh look, platforms that don't show up. Except if you pay really close attention, you can actually detect that platform in visible light because there's little droplets of water just in midair, so you know something is there. However, in Phase-On Mines, there's going to be moving platforms that are invisible, so we still need the X-ray scope. And don't even get me started on the final boss. Because, well, I'd rather show it to you than explain it to you. That's why you're here. Among your many other commitments. Well, here, let's get something here. I'm not used to hearing the disc inside the Wii U just constantly flittering about the way it does. Now that I'm used to the Switch, which has its itty-bitty cartridges, which don't need to spin. They have the audacity to play a little sound effect telling you that that's timed when it's right there. Missiles! Nice. Camera, stop. Camera, stop. Camera, stop. I don't think these guys ever give you anything for destroying them, so you may as well just freeze them. Shriek Bats, on the other hand. They can be helpful. Wait, what am I doing here again? Oh, yeah. I'm gonna go to Magmore. Unfortunately, that means this. Oh, they weren't. Oh! Wow! I hit him anyway. Because of the fact that they can be tracked now. Man, it is so nice to have the X-ray scope. Just render those buttholes a non-issue. I probably could have just space jumped my way over there. Wait, what the heck? Oh, now you tell me. Now there's something preventing me from going into that room. Okay, so I gotta find the alternate way of getting in. I know where it is, but I didn't realize that if I went the way I came before, I'd be blocked. Oh my... Whatever. I'm digging another stretch break. Would you please actually stay paused? I'm actually thinking about stopping a little bit short. Like, I don't want to label this as a test stream or anything, but the important thing is that we now know that the capture card works. Next stream would be quite short, though, but I've kind of put myself in an awkward position time-wise. I feel like if I play the rest of the game, that's going to eat into dinner time. Wait, no, I don't want the sword. It's really aggravating, because, like, there's not that much left to do, but what is left to do can be a little bit cumbersome. You can destroy those birds if you want, but you don't need to. Unless it's just a monster. If I did stop, I'm not going to come back tomorrow. I've actually been doing an unusually large amount of activity for me by my recent standards. It is sort of weird how the legendary race of bird people kind of look like frogs in their ghost forms. At least to me. Was that really worth a dun 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 dun? Yeah, I think I actually have to do this, unfortunately. Yeah. I got a couple of items to collect here, which are also a little bit cumbersome. Well, one of them is cumbersome, one of them's pretty quick. If Nexter ends up being really short, I can always just fire up some more Holo Cure. That's right, I like Metroid Prime and cute HoloLive game. And also the Raiders. That was stupid. I have yet to encounter another human on Earth who loves those three things like I do. And the Lord Jesus. I had a fourth one in there. Oh wait, we got something to scan here. Plated puffers. How can Phazon create mutant machines that carry toxic gas? How does that even work? Oculus. Hey, you can't destroy them, not even with power bombs. Although that one can be destroyed because its foundation is completely destroyed. I just noticed the missile indicator is actually going down the more you use. These oculi are there to play goalie against you. And there's our target. Wavebuster. Will you see me actually using this weapon? Not likely. But it certainly is there. I do like that they at least did some cool things with these weapon concepts. Anyway, this is why we actually have to be in this room. Chozo artifact. Wow. What else does Nintendo confirming? It better be the release date of Prime 4! Sorry, Nintendo. I didn't mean to be so aggressive. I'm just really looking forward to Prime 4. If I haven't made that obvious yet, I really like Metroid. I've still only played the original Yoshi game on SNES Classic. Wait. Mario debuted in 1986? Are we sure? Isn't this the 40-year anniversary of Super Mario Brothers? And if we want to be really pedantic, we can say that Donkey Kong was Mario's first appearance. So he should have already had his 40th anniversary. Alright, there's a save point right here. I'm going to go ahead and stop here. I didn't want to, but this way at least there's no conflict with eating food. And it has been a 3-hour stream. Or close enough to 3 hours. But it is great that we're getting more Mario. Wasn't the first Yoshi game in like 89 or 90? There was a Yoshi puzzle game on NES before Super Mario World, I know that. Hardly anybody ever played it, but it does exist. Alright, yeah, I wanted to beat the rest of the game, but we're running into potentially food time, so next stream might be pretty short, but, you know, it is what it is. If it ends up being really short, then I can just add... I can just tack on a little... Nice! He did that real fast. Tack on a little more holo cure. It will not be tomorrow. It won't be the next day. You know, it's probably Monday. But like, I gotta actually set some things straight in real life as well. So don't hold your breath for the next stream. But it will be coming.
Hope you have a good day. Hope you have a good day. Hope you have a good day. Hope you have a good day.
We know I can do another stream because we know the capture card works. I don't have to retire yet. From streaming, at least. I did not want to retire from streaming. Especially not without playing Metroid Prime 4. I love you, Metroid. See you soon.